across America. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? filming? What you filming?
Wreaths across America.
What's that?
They're bringing wreaths to bring to Arlington for all the cemetery stones. might be it. With Brattleboro Community Television, and your name, sir?
Ralph Garcia.
And you come all the way from Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
My gosh. You're doing this for how many times, the Wreaths across America?
This is my 7th time I've done it. I've been on the convoy 5 times, and the other 2 times I came with my wife to unload the truck at Arlington to help out. So.
That's the physical part that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, it's a great program. It's a great cause. I mean, there's a lot of people involved, and you know, the more people know about it, the more people get involved in donations and whatever it takes to get it done. This year, I think they're putting down 200,000 in Arlington, and they also put them in the National Cemeteries around the United States. Also, and now they're starting to go to Europe, and they're putting them down in Normandy last year, 2 years ago.
Well, I guess we need a few boats for that.
Yeah, for sure.
But we had 18 wheelers going by to beat the band. How many were there?
This one is 13, I think, 13 or 12.
How many did you start out with?
We started out with I think it was 30-some trucks. And then we break off as we're going.
Well, thank you for coming through Vermont. We appreciate it.
We've always enjoyed coming out here.
This started in Ellsworth, Maine, correct?
Yeah. No, it started in Columbia Falls.
Columbia Falls.
And that's where they make the wreaths.
That's why I saw so many Mainers.
Right. Yeah. The thing about our truck, I don't know if you want to get a shot of that.
I just did, but sure, that is
our truck is
camo.
This is actually dedicated to all the veterans, and what we're trying to to do is we're trying to get the young people involved.
Yes.
And we're trying to get them promoted into the industry. We have, my company ABF actually has training facilities right on the bases. And what they do is they transcend the soldiers that are coming out of the Army into our industry. So we're trying to get a lot of young people in our industry because the average age for our industry is about 50 years old. So we're trying to get the young people in, and there's no better way than give them a good job as soon as they get out of the service, so they don't even have to look for a job. And that's one of the main causes for guys to get lost or maybe go homeless or anything that they might go through, because that transition is the hardest part for the American soldier. So we actually give them a chance to get a good job, good pay, good benefits right off the bat. And we train them, then it doesn't cost them anything, and they go right in and work with us. And it's worked really well. We've got close to 100 drivers already that have come out of our school. Wow. We have about 25 at our terminal. So it's worked out really well.
If somebody's interested, a veteran, how can they contact
Well, they just have to talk to their commanding officer or anybody that's involved and tell them they want to get involved in the program with ABF Freight Systems, and just find out where they can go to get the training. But they're always looking for guys and girls. We've had a couple of girls that have been working for us. So
Why not?
it works both ways. And you get top pay right off the bat. They don't even have to go through the probation type system that we have set up. So it works out really well.
Well, that sounds like an excellent program.
Yeah, sure is for the veterans. We want to help them out as much as we can.
Thank you for doing this again.
No, my wife's in the driver's seat.
Oh, no, that's cool. The engine's got to keep running. We're dieseling along. So that's one of the wreaths, huh, Rolf? Oh, okay.
He'd already
Thank you.
started.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right. So this is one of those the wreaths that we're bringing
this
to
is
the Arlington.
One of the wreaths that will be going to Arlington. The ones that are set on the tombstones are actually a little bit larger.
Yeah.
And every section of this
Thank you, guy.
every section of this wreath has a meaning. I couldn't tell you by heart. But if you look on the website, it shows every section and what it means.
All right.
But these furs are a soft fur, balsam fir out of Maine.
Yeah.
Where the factory's at, and they actually last close to a month together because of the texture of it and how it's set up as far as a pine tree. But they last a lot longer after you cut them off.
And we have 20,000 of these?
I think this year we're going to lay down 200,000.
200,000.
Yeah,
the number
when we go into the park, they stage 40 trucks. So right now, all those trucks are heading towards Arlington right now, and they'll stage them the night before. We have a banquet that night, and in the morning, we open the doors and they unload it. The volunteers come in. This convoy is made up of 10 to 12 trucks, and what we do for 10 days is we go on tour and we visit VFWs, schools, and different places to celebrate the whole event. And we try to teach people our motto is remember, honor, and teach. And what we do is we try to teach young people about honoring the veterans and never forgetting their names.
Never.
When we place these wreaths on the tombstone, we ask everybody to say their name, because they say a soldier or a person dies two deaths. The death when they die, and the death when they forget their names. So we never want to forget the names of our veterans. So when they set it down, we ask the person to say their name and then go on. But I think it's not a decoration. It's a way to honor them for Christmas. A lot of those guys never made it home for Christmas. So what better way to honor them than putting a wreath at their grave? But it's an incredible event. When they lay them down, it's beautiful. I mean, you see all the wreaths in front of the tombstones. It's just an amazing sight.
Well, it's quite an operation.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's
Al.
pretty awesome. You're welcome.
I don't know, honestly. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Richard Campbell. I'm the post commander of Charlotte 1034, and I'd like to welcome all of you for coming in today. I know some of you had a long trip, so we're going to try to make this as quick and painless, and then hopefully fill your bellies up and get you ready for your off tomorrow morning early. On that note, I would like to thank, I'm going to call up my counterpart here, the VFW 1034 Auxiliary President Karen Campbell.
Thank you all. We're so excited to have you here tonight. Glad we all made it safely. We're very thrilled to have you. We'd like to start by introducing some of our guests. Could we please have all veterans stand and be acknowledged? Let's all give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. We would like now to introduce our honored guest from Wreaths Across America, Renee Worcester, daughter-in-law of Wreaths Across America founder Maura Worcester and executive director of Karen Worcester.
Oh, I was like, you're going off script.
No,
Okay,
Wayne Hanson, chairman of Wreaths Across America Board of Directors. Leanne Maitland, national president, American Gold Star Mothers. Nancy Manaugh, president, emeritus, Gold Star Wives of America. And Loretta Harris, president, Maine chapter, Gold Star Mothers.
Before we get on to our local invited guests, could I get all Gold Star mothers and wives that are here, or even fathers, please stand? Thank you so much. At this time, I'd just like to, our local invited guests, our Department of Vermont VFW Commander Jeff Young, Vermont VFW Auxiliary President Diana Goslin. Our Department of Vermont District 1 Auxiliary President Stephanie Casey. And pardon me, she's also the Department of Vermont Junior Vice. Sorry about that. Our Department of Vermont VFW Pass Commander Sam Haskins. Department of Vermont VFW Auxiliary Past President Dixie Goodwin. Our Marine Corps League President Sandy Mers. Marine Corps League Past Department Commandant Richard Hodgson. Marine Corps League Past Detachment Commandant Sherry Garland. American Legion Commander Dave Slayton. American Legion Auxiliary President Lori Nelson. Sons of American Legion Commander Eric Buckley. Brattleboro Police Chief Norma Hardy. Brattleboro Fire Chief Len Howard. Brattleboro Assistant Fire Chief Charles Keir III. Not with us. Sheriff Anderson make it back? He did not. All right. Rescue Wing Chief Drew Hazelton. And last but not least, our Rowan Williams, our 2020-2021 Vermont State winner, VFW Auxiliary Get Excited for the Red, White, and Blue Singing Contest winner. At this time, I'm going to call up Eric Buckley for the Pledge of Allegiance. Got a little tongue-tied up here. Pledge of Allegiance. By the way, this is being recorded, so no pressure.
I'll get out of you. Oh, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Eric. Please be seated. At this time, Roland, you'll come on up, please. time just speaking, let alone singing in front of everybody. Well done, Rowan. Very well. At this time, I'm going to call Karen Campbell up.
This time, we'd like to have Joe Reagan, the Director of Military and Veteran Outreach, come up and speak with us.
Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Karen. Thank you guys so much for hosting us all. It's really been an amazing week with amazing days, so thank you. I also want to take a moment to thank all the law enforcement officers that have been keeping us safe throughout this. When I was in active duty, when I was a lieutenant, we used to do a lot of the convoy operations. I gotta say, I'm extremely glad that I'm not doing that, and I'm sitting in the car listening to my Wreaths across Harris radio. You're welcome to be up here, as I said. You know, it's actually funny, when we were doing the convoy planning, this was something I actually did not want to do. I haven't told anyone that, by the way. This is we call it a safe space. I did not want to come on the convoy, actually. Being on these types of things gives me a tremendous amount of anxiety. In fact, the last time I did a large convoy like this was in July of 2006 through an area of southern Afghanistan called, the Russians called it the Valley of Death. And in that year, we finished, that month we just finished a large operation in the province we were leaving. And we started to get some radio chatter that there was something happening ahead of us. And so we had left the vehicles, and as part of that, to go kind of investigate, make sure that everything around us was safe. And about that time, the front of the convoy was ambushed. And this is a pretty serious ambush. There was at least 3 or 4 dishes. It was about a 5-mile long ambush. And the only way that we could get out of it was we had to drive through it. Driving about 2 vehicles in front of me was our mortar section. And the gunner in that vehicle was a man by the name of Kevin Edgen. And as we saw this, as this event was happening, Kevin was up on the gun, and at one point he ducked down and told the platoon sergeant that was riding the truck with us, he said, "I got hit." And they did a quick once over, and they said, "No, you're okay." And he pops back up on the gun and continues to engage, protecting the convoy. And a second time, Kevin gets hit. And this time he does wound him, but he's okay, so he gets back up on the gun again and continues to engage the enemy. The vehicle gets engaged a 3rd time, this time disabling the weapon. And so Kevin ducks down and says, "It's not working. Hand me an M4. And so he gets an M4, he gets back up, and he continues to engage the enemy. Kevin got hit again. This time was very severe, and he dropped down into it, into the vehicle, and unfortunately, we still had about 3 miles to go before we were able to get to the facility. Kevin Edgen died that night, July 6th, 2006. This year's theme for Wreaths Across America is Live Up to the Legacy. How do we do that? About 2 days before we left on the convoy, one of my former soldiers called, and he said, "I hear you're going on this convoy thing." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "All of our interpreters who are now coming over from Afghanistan, they all live together." He goes, "They're all talking about it too." And we go back and forth, and as we're having this conversation, one of the things he said to me, and stuck with me, he goes, "You have no idea how much it means to people when you get up and you share the stories of what we did over there." You know, I was one of the people that wrote up Kevin Edgen for his Silver Star citation. You know, to be around those types of people. And I think about Kevin a lot. And so when I think about that idea of living up to our legacy, you know, coming on this convoy is part of that. It's about making ourselves uncomfortable for people, because we have to make ourselves uncomfortable. Kevin could have dropped down at any point during that firefight, and no one would have thought any less of him. But he chose to make himself uncomfortable. He chose to put himself in danger time and time again. And it saved the rest of us. And so when we sit here and we talk about how do we live up to that legacy, it's about making ourselves uncomfortable. It's about making those harder choices. And so I can't thank all of you enough, because I know that whether it's anxiety that it's causing me, and I guarantee you all the people that prove me all day, like, no, he is not anxious. I do a really good job of fighting, so trust me. But it's uncomfortable to be on that convoy. But we're sharing an important mission. We're sharing important stories. And every one of us is part of that. Every cemetery, all 3,100 plus cemeteries that are participating next Saturday are part of that mission. And so I thank you all for being part of that mission, whether you're here locally or you're with us in the convoy. So thank you all.
Renee, would you like to come up and speak so? Yes, you would. Thank you.
So I don't say anything I speak. I talk about or anything like that, and I try to kind of read the room and read what's happening, and I'm going to read what, after Joe had spoken. I don't know if there's any words to follow that, but I think reflection on that and the courage, and because it's not just the courage to come on the convoy, it was the courage for you to talk about that. And I think that's a lot of a healing opportunity for anyone that is on this convoy, is to talk about that, because this is a safe space, and I think you must feel that a little bit by opening up there. And quite frankly, I want to apologize because we didn't read that when inviting you. But I hope by the end of this you'll recognize that it was uncomfortable, but it was all worth it. So thank you for that, Joe. I really mean that. So. Conversation with a Gold Star family member that was here prior to our arrival, and speaking of uncomfortable, and I think we've all learned a little something from Laurel and Karen, especially Karen. Laurel's a little bit more quiet, and Karen is not. But I've learned to listen when she speaks, and something that we talk about, and Amber demonstrated prior to us getting here, is talking about not your loved one's death, but their lives. Not how they died, but how they lived. What they did while they were living. Were they on the football team? Were they a black belt in karate? Because I can associate myself with that, because I'm saying things too. I gotta get back to law enforcement. I'm here. And I can run the lights really good. So, but I think that what we can all kind of take from that uncomfortableness is to ask those questions of the Gold Star families. Who is your loved one? Who were they? What were their characteristics? How did they get to be in the place that they wanted to serve this great country? And how do we live up to their legacy? And how do we pass those memories on to the next generation, the future generation, the current generation, and those who have already served? Because it's important to understand. I don't think that's me. We'll talk about that after. It's not enough to just talk about it once, to continue that story of service. And if it's service through the military, or if it's service through law enforcement, if it's service through the VFW, you're continuing to serve those who are currently serving and giving them the resources they have to be uncomfortable and tell their stories. Because it's really important. It's important to myself. I know it's important to my children, and it's making a difference to tell those stories, because they're going to their friends and they're telling them, because in their eyes of my 13-year-old, you're the hero. In the eyes of those kids that we Zoomed with, you were their hero, and you made it very acceptable to join the military when sometimes it's not necessarily at the forefront of everyone's news channel, or it's a conversation to be had at home to continue that service through the military, through your community, through your home. Patriotism starts at home, spreads to community, and then country. I think that convoy is showing that right now. You know, we're making that trip from Harrington, Maine, all the way down to DC, but this is expanded so much further than this little trip. We have different convoys throughout the United States. There's 3,100 different locations that will be participating with Wreaths Across America. They will be saying the name as they lay that wreath. If you've been on this convoy before, you've heard the statement, you die twice, once when you take your last breath, but the second time when your name is spoken for the last time. And that's something that Wreaths Across America will not allow to happen. With the wreath placement, with our remembrance tree program, with the stories that we're sharing on our social media and Wreaths Across America radio. It is all about sharing the stories of service, sacrifice, and your loved ones, and sharing that in the community to build communities up, to really be the most patriotic country in the world, and to just love our freedoms, love those who have given the ultimate sacrifice to ensure our freedoms. So looking around and seeing so many people here after being an hour late and still wanting to hear the message of someone that did not serve, but I feel like in some way, you know, the family is giving back, because we didn't have, the family that started this, there's no military background, but Morrill, when he started this, this was his way of giving back in a small way. And he didn't experience, or didn't expect to have this grow. This was something he had, it was a gift from him, but it meant so much that, you know, millions of people have brought that into their homes, into their community, into their country, to remember, honor, and teach, and bringing the communities together to engage with each other and tell these stories. So if you're here for just this stop tonight, please engage with the convoy participants, because those stories of your loved ones, of yourself, are going to be making its way down the eastern seaboard and across the United States on this journey we call Wreaths Across America. So thank you all for being here, for doing your part, and you know, living up to their legacy.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like Lorna, would you be kind enough to come up and speak, please?
How much for me do I have to? I just got front on me when I come through the door, but I'm Lorna Harris. I live in a small town in Maine, Justin was a senior when 9/11 occurred, and he was sitting in English class. And it done something to him, you know, deep down in his heart. I mean, he wanted to serve his country. He was very lovable. He cared so much about people. And so it's no wonder that, you know, he wanted to be a soldier. And he would have been a soldier for life, and he'll be our soldier for life for sure. But he died on April 6th, 2006, 15 years ago this year. And for Scott and Dylan and I, April 6th, 2006 is yesterday, always, every day. I want to tell you a little story. He loved to play soccer. And when he was a freshman, we had a new soccer coach that year. And he'd come down for practices and stuff. And he went to the athletic director one day. And that athletic director was actually kind of like an uncle. And Mr. Michalowski said, I have this kid on my soccer team, and I really don't know what the family situation is, and I don't want to offend him, but I would really like to buy him a new pair of cleats, because I think the ones that he's wearing is 2 or 3 sizes too big. So Bob went on, and he was like, kind of thinking about who the boys on the soccer team. And he's like, who are you talking about? And he's like, Justin Harris. And he looked at the coat and he's like, those are the sizes of his feet. Thank you for having us. Merry Christmas.
Joanna, you can come up.
Good evening, everyone. Unlike them, I have notes. Not that I'll follow them, but I got it. My name is Joanne Maitland. I'm the national president for American Gold Star Mothers. It's an organization that no one ever wants to be eligible to join. We're congressionally chartered just like the American Legion and just like the VFW, and we serve. That is how we heal our grief. First of all, I'd like to thank you for showing up tonight, because you could have stayed home. You could have watched Monday Night Football, or The Bachelor, or The Bachelorette, or something like that, instead of being here with us. I am grateful for your patriotism and that you have honored us with the warmth and comfort of just being with us tonight. My son, Richard Buckingham Hubble, we called him Buck, died December 3rd, 2002 at Fort Hood, Texas. He was an amazing blue-eyed boy who just wanted to be like his grandfather, who, like Joe, graduated from Norwich University in the great state of Vermont. So when we talk about a legacy, that's what he was doing. He was living the legacy of his grandfather, who he wanted to share with more than anything, the heroic story that he told. So, again, who would think out of insurmountable sadness could come profound moments of joy? And for me, participating in Wreaths across America enabled me to honor our fallen heroes, teach the public the meaning of military service, and most of all, remember our children and those family members who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. I want to thank the VFW, the American Legion, first responders, police that go out there and serve every day, because you do it in the memory of those that can't. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. God bless America, and God bless us. Thank you.
Nancy, would you like to speak?
I'm Nancy Mina. I'm past president of Gold Star Wives of America. We're a congressionally chartered organization, and we've been around since 1945, and we're made up of both men and women who have lost their spouse in the military. And remember, honor, teach. And my husband, when he was killed, my children were 10, 8, 5, 3, and I was 8 months pregnant. So I had to remember, honor, and teach them. So if you don't mind a little bit, I'm going to share a little bit about my husband and remember, honor, and teach to you just about him. He was what you call a very colorful character. He was my husband, he served from 67 to 69, and I always ask about Mead River because that's when he was nominated for both the Medal of Honor and a court-martial. And he saved a lot of people, but he had to disobey orders to do it. And that's something you can read online if you go to Echo 27, the tutor, and there's a lot of articles about that day, the day of Mead River. That was the largest operation in Vietnam, involved all branches of the military. He also, he did receive the Silver Star, he received the Bronze Medal with Valor, and he received the Navy and Marine Corps Medal. And I won't tell you what he did for the Silver Star or the Bronze D because we have children in the room. But I will tell you about the Navy and Marine Corps Medal. So he was on a destroyer and his helicopter was going to take off, but it was still chained. So it happened, and it went down, flipped upside down, burst into flames, and he jumped out, realized the colonel was still hanging in his harness upside down, so he jumped back in, took a knife, cut it out, and pulled him out, while everybody else just stood around and watched the show. So that's just the kind of guy he was, that he just, wherever we were, someone's choking, he would save me. He just was invincible. I never thought he would get killed because he just, nothing ever stayed him. He didn't have a scratch on him from Vietnam. So one of his favorite jobs in the Marine Corps was test jumping parachutes. And he had a theory that if you jumped out of an airplane for free, that was really bad luck, bad mojo. But as long as they paid you, it was okay. So as long as he got $20 for jumping out of an airplane, it was okay. One of his last jobs in the Marine Corps was he got to teach land navigation at TDS for 3 years. And that was his job that meant the most to him because when he was in Vietnam, they didn't have all that GPS and technology. They had a map and a compass. And sometimes the second lieutenants called air power, and they didn't really know where they were, and it had a really bad result. And so when he was at TBS and he could teach all the second lieutenants coming through land navigation, to him it was a remember, honor, and teach moment because he was feeling like he could really make a difference to those young Marines and that they would not have those bad situations where they call the air power on themselves sometimes. And so, since my children were so young, I have taken to heart, remember, honor, and teach. And when I go to Arlington and I look at all of those tombstones and all of those names, every one of them has stories. Maybe they're not on the wall, maybe you don't know their name. My husband's not on a wall anywhere. He's not a name that you would know. He was killed in 84 during a downtime, say. But there's a story. Every single one of those is a story. And if you go to Arlington and you go to the Orton Wetzel Gate, his spot is on the second tree to the right. And you just go by there and just leave a coin, leave a little pebble for him. And it's the perfect spot for him because the Orton Wetzel Gate is the one you take if you want to go to the Marine Corps Memorial. So he's just right in the spot he needs to be. Remember, honor, teach, live up to the legacy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those times are kind of, it's funny how things come and go, because 2006 seemed to be a busy year. I was at Fort Benning on medical hold, flown back from Kuwait at the end of 2005. So yes, it was a busy time there, and on both sides of the desert. And I was stationed at the Vermont Guard there at Norwich, right back there. When did you graduate? Oh, I was there. Yeah, I was getting ready to deploy from there. Yeah. So Yes, it was new, yep. It is. So I probably ran into him, probably saw him somewhere running around there on Norwich University. I was in mortuary affairs for the brigade there, so. Yes, we walked on some of the same ground there in March. Good to see you. Is there anybody else that would like to say anything that's on the convoy? It doesn't matter. Everybody's here caring. If not, I would like to, Sherry, would you like to say something?
Perhaps we could have the drivers of the convoy stand.
Yeah. Could we get all the support staff, drivers, whoever's, Thank you, everybody that supports this convoy. It truly is remarkable, and to set everything and keep it in motion, it's really breathtaking now that I've had a chance to see just what it does take, and hats off to everybody.
And we've got a lot of our drivers just come out here, they have fuel, they can only fuel a couple trucks at a time. So the few that you were here, the rest of them are still fueling the
In case of anybody here that, we were gonna hold up because the trucks had to be refueled. But evidently you can only, there's not a lot of places here in Brattleboro that you can do a mass fuel up. So some of them are still out. Make sure that they know that it's much appreciated, and we do appreciate everything. This time I'd like to thank, oh, we got another.
I just want to say, one thing to go along with things to remember our teach. It might be an idea to recognize Blue Star family members as well, because if you have a Blue Star parent in here, that's going along with the program.
Yeah. We have any Blue Star parents here? Oh, we do. Thank you. Leave anybody, especially this holidays. I was lucky enough, my son-in-law just got back from overseas, and my son's good friends are back. Luckily, everybody's healthy, so yes, sorry for overlooking. Anybody else? We've got another one.
I'd like to recognize our bus driver, Dennis.
Thank you.
Truck drivers, other vehicles. Nobody ever misses how this guy can put that cross. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah. As a fellow bus driver, I do, it is a tight drive, but you get around here. At this time, there'd be no other, any other omissions? Oh, another one.
Yeah, one more for Renee stepping up to the plate, making it all happen.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Before we get on too much further, we've got one other thing, and oh, we got another person in the convoy.
We just mentioned the motorcycle driver.
Oh, yes. Never forget that. Definitely not the warmest weather, but it could be worse. For sure. At this time, I'm going to ask if we do other omissions. Anybody else would like to say anything? All right. At this time, withdraw and come back up. At this time, I'm just gonna, that pretty much concludes everything. We're gonna be bringing out the food here shortly. What they want me to remind everybody, there's gonna be a hand sanitizer at the beginning. There'll be a table you can put your plates down. And they would just like, when you come through the line, if you would have your mask on if you can. If you can't wear one, that's fine, because we know certain health conditions. Since everybody's gonna be going down food, and get the food, we just would be easier. And we want everybody to stay healthy, so they can finish this trip. And stay, yes. Thank you, God bless you all. May the rest of your trip be as uneventful as this so far, hopefully. Thank you.
Prepared by all the cooks, all the helpers that have helped out in the CFW before, during, and will be helping out afterwards. So we can just give our helpers a big
There's a bathroom, we've got bathrooms here behind us and down the hall also.
Okay, sir, are you one of the drivers of Wreaths that crossed America?
I am. My name's Stephen Meyer, and I'm with Hampton Roads Moving and Storage.
Yes.
And this is my trailer, and I'm about to tell you my story. So this right here is Loretta Walsh, and she's actually the first woman that was ever allowed to serve in the United States military that wasn't a nurse.
Oh.
And that was in 1917, and she passed away in 1925 of tuberculosis, and she rests in Pennsylvania. And that was the Navy. And
Navy.
Yes, April 22nd is actually her birthday, and at the Naval Academy that day is named after her. And you notice in the picture she's leaning actually leaning on a cannon.
Yes.
So, and then the next one here, this is Mr. Paul Arpan of Arpan Van Lines, or Paul Arpan Van Lines, and he was a military mover. We was a military moving company, and then it became Arpan Van Lines, and it's now been defunct. But he's a D-Day survivor, second wave. He returned back to Rhode Island, continued the family business, and in 2010 he actually fell down the stairs and broke his hip. He was 89 years old, and he just couldn't recover. And then right here, what I have is I have Alderman Cavs, and Alderman Cavs is from Oviedo, Florida, and he was born in 1970, and he was the first sergeant in the United States Army, and he was an infantryman. He was a Bradley fighting vehicle commander. And his Bradley actually ran over an IED in Iraq and was disabled, and he was lightly injured, and he returned to the Bradley to extract the driver. As he returned back to the Bradley to extract the driver, he actually got caught on fire, and he returned back to the Bradley on several occasions, several more times, to extract five other men from that Bradley while he himself was on fire. 2 weeks later, he passed away in San Antonio, Texas, from all his burns.
Yeah.
He's actually going to be, his family is actually going to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor on his behalf coming this Thursday, the 16th. It's been long overdue. But that's just my personal opinion. But that's my remember. We remember those no longer here, and we remember the following, which is Alderman Cavs with the Gold Star. Then I come here to the honor. We honor those that are serving and those that have served. And this right here is Ho Lee, and he's actually active duty and stationed at Quantico right now, and he's in an administrative position. But at the end of the day, this man is a Marine, and that makes him a rifleman. This man can get it on with anybody. And then right here, I've got Alder Costello, and she's actually the first Latina female T-38 trainer. And she is the first female Latina United Airlines commercial airline pilot. And that's my honor. And then this is Teach. And then this is Joshua Chamberlain. He was the 33rd governor of Maine. He's a Medal of Honor recipient also. He's a Medal of Honor recipient also. And this Gettysburg is where he was at.
Yes.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Joshua Chamberlain. He was the 33rd governor of Maine, Medal of Honor recipient, and the 20th Regiment. And he was actually going to be an academic. His father had got him an appointment to West Point, and he passed up on it. He wanted to do it. He wanted to be a professor. But of course, he got called into the Civil War and did his duty.
Yeah.
He passed away in 1914. What you see above me, sir, is the diversity of America.
Yes, it is.
That's what I wanted to capture.